Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the ASUS ROG Major Tournament in November. Two players you should know and you should love. I bet you know at least half of them, and that's probably why you came here, clicked on this video, and already liked and subscribed. Yes, YouTube tells me, get it in early, or don't get it in at all. Or maybe that was your mother. I'm not sure. Anyways, if we could just fix the... God, Jimmy! The camera! In the bottom left! It is the man, the myth, and the legend. Now cannon rushing, parting, and in the top right of no longer Jin Air Green Wings. Unfortunately, Jin Air has dissolved their esports division because not a lot of people are flying in airplanes recently. So airlines have kind of been... It's unfortunate, but not unexpected. Just like getting cannon rushed by Party, who now has a pylon, a cannon. The drones are getting behind, but that's a trap! It's a trap! Oh, come on! That was so obvious! Oh, Rogue, come on! Oh, I can't believe he fell for that. Oh, that was like Parting set that up. The masterful baits, and that's it. Game one. All right, let's go home. Well done, Parting. He's gonna take it, and we're done. Didn't even finish the intro, but it's all over. Oh my god. Well, that was disgusting. Come on, like that was so... I feel like he could have put a little more effort into killing the cannon. It feels like Rogue got into that position, and then he's like, well, I know where this is going. A little bit masochistic. But, well, there you go. And so now we gotta fill... How long until you can put ads on YouTube? Oh, 8 minutes? What's your guys' favorite cheese? Do you have a preference? Oh, like, do you like all cheeses or no cheeses? Maybe a little lactose intolerant? Because if so, maybe oh, we have more games. Oh, it's a best of 5. Oh, we have more. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Oh, Loco casted it? He must have been the very first one to cast this premier tournament. That's crazy. With that said, Game 2. We never thought we'd get here 5 minutes ago, but here we are. Rogue, okay, can we... One job. Just don't interrupt the camera while we're doing the fancy intro. That's all you have to do. Well, that was disgusting. He's not going to do it again, right? No. He is kind of... That's a normal probe pathing on this map, right? He sent it out very early, but... Okay. He can't keep getting away with it! Now, it looks like Rogue gonna have to do what many Zergs have resigned themselves to doing. Just kind of in the last few years. Which is just take their third as their natural, because the probe, the annoying... Like, you don't have your Zerglings out. Where is the probe? Where is my probe? Probe's getting all up in... And you can never find them. They're always out of vision. God damn it. Anyway, so where's the probe? We got Zerglings, we got probes, we got old generation Zerglings, and also there's a game going on, but I really missed out on the intro time. We got our new generation of Zerglings, more accurate, more canon, if you actually look in the cartoon, so... Make sure to check out my video of hatching those lings. Really an off-tempo cast here. And by cast, I mean there was a cannon rush, which we spent 30 seconds on, and now this is entirely standard. So, everybody put your shirts back on. And no, your pants can stay off. And we're having a normal game. The first game, okay, a very parting match. That is the parting who drank Red Bull vodka out of his trophy that I know and I love. I believe that was a home story cup. But now we're here. Hey, at least there was Red Bull. Gotta mix your uppers with your downers. That's a pro gamer move. Stargate is the choice. Right down the middle of the road. Probe. Actually chased down and killed by the Zerglings. Very sad. The Zerglings get the better end of this one. And, is this the part where we just... Okay. An Oracle, and then a... Does he go Void Ray first? That would be the craziest thing. And by crazy, I mean a little crazy. Not that crazy. A little crazy. But a Void Ray first definitely throws things off. It obviously, Wait, where are you going? What? Is that really where... Wait, what the fuck? What the... I mean, heck? Excuse me. Oh, no. Oh, he's doing the thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, sweet Tassadar. Oh, my. He's doing the drone rush. Here we go. Never mind. No more of that bullshit commentary. Here we go. He's gonna drone drill through. Does Parting have the time? There's a probe right there, and he walls it. And that's the game. Right? I really thought Rogue would just GG. Kind of feels like he should. Like, you might... Well, can't he go... No, he's down 12 workers. He's not getting through this. There's an Oracle. Like, even without the Oracle, though. He's making more Zerglings, like that's gonna be a solution. Which... I don't think so. I mean, there's no shield battery. There's no really macro. He's making drones now. Parting warps in on the other side, which I guess is fine. He's got to make sure he actually does stay walled. He will here. A nice back wall. That does... If the Cyber Core goes down, you can't warp in. Oh, there goes... Oh, overcharge it! Overcharge! He has energy for overcharge. Oh, come on. Well, he's teasing him. He's teasing him. The overcharge brings these back. He can, oh my god. He's got the full shield. He even held off the overcharge. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but... Rogue, is he gonna play it out? Okay, he's gonna play it out. Which, good luck. I'm excited to see. So... It's gonna have to be at least equal parts. Parting, throwing, and Rogue making the best possible moves. Like, essentially, Rogue has to continue gambling, and he has to keep hitting the jackpot. Like, he has to gamble at least a 1 in 10 chance 2 or 3 times here. I would put, if I was a betting man, which I don't play Hearthstone for a reason, but if I was a betting man, right now Parting's at like a 94 and... Well, right now Rogue has, I would say... So you got a 25% at best at beating me! Against Parting. And that's generous. But we'll see. There's just no lair. Like, the Stargate units are not even the real threat here. It's what comes after the Star... He's hunting a queen. Come on! Brenda! Wait, what is happening? Okay, well... This is, okay. Well, that was a bit messy. Parting just kind of... He killed a queen, but he lost a Void Ray, which is not a great trade. It definitely isn't ideal, but we're not playing... It's not an even playing field. Rogue is just now starting his lair. There are Adepts with Glaives on the way. The worker counts are about even, and Rogue just got here. He hasn't been on 55 workers this whole time. He just got there. So he hasn't been on a battle.
Well, let's bring the graph up. Let's do some math. Yeah, I wonder which part did he pull drones on. It's unclear, and he's been recovering ever since. So if he holds all of this without taking serious economic damage, then we got a game. Okay, here comes Spartan. Glaive's not done yet. Down goes the Oracle, bit sloppy on the maneuvering here for Parting. Using it looks like the same control group for a bit. Throws the shades out, doesn't decide to complete them. What? Jimmy! What the f— oh, come on.
I can't. Really? I'm sorry, we got a little bit of interference matrices here. It happens. Inside the studio. Jimmy, don't let the tinfoil in! I said no tinfoil! I don't care how many G's. Okay, so 13 drones going down. Looks like we'll see a couple more G's. 20, 21. The numbers are stacking up here. It's almost impossible not to take damage to Adepts in this scenario. Just the amount. Essentially, you're not going to stop. They're going to get in. It's just about mitigating that damage. And he did. He killed the Adepts. But at what cost? Because now to 68 to 58. And like, Party hasn't killed him yet. And Parting, in true Parting manner, instead of going like Immortal Charge Lot or something, is gonna go Blink Stalker with Sentries, which is, if there's a situation that Parting could roll to an easy victory, he instead wants to try to micro himself out of one. Like, Blink is a good choice. It's a good choice. Against Roaches, it's fine, and against a potential Muta-Switch, but I might add he already has a Stargate. So going for Blink seems expensive, unnecessary. That Void Ray likes to live life on the edge of death, which doesn't seem very safe. But Parting will find himself with his... Okay, that was a changeling. Oh, with his trademark Blink Stalkers. I mean, he's made his name. He's carried a lot of weight on the back of those Blink Stalkers over the last decade. The Void Ray just popped in and killed a creep tumor. I don't even know if he was micro. Oh, he come back for... No, yeah, he's microing it. He's looking. He's hunting. 1 HP, 0 fucks. Oh, the Stalkers! Murder them! Where did they come from? Oh. Well, here comes Parting. Rogue has almost evened this up. To be honest, it feels like Parting is just not... He's letting it slip a little. He's still ahead. He's still got all the initiative. Rogue has a terrible army. You don't want to have an even supply of Roach Ravager Zergling in almost any scenario. You want to have way more of it. More Corrosive Biles thrown up. Blink Stalkers over to the right. Force Fields, temporary at best. I mean, they're always temporary, but even here, with that many Corrosive Biles, he's blinking his way out. Rogue is starting to hold here. The Guardian Shield helping, but the Corrosive Biles forcing the micro back. The Immortals not living up to their name. The Queen's eating a lot of that. He blocks forward. He's going for it. Parting, warping in more Stalkers. The Ravager count thinning out. And Parting going deep in the paint, onto the creep, into the main-ish. He charges up the Void Ray. Come on, simmer down. The drones are pulled for the second time this game, but a W is all we find at the end. So Parting, I will say, it was partially Rogue making the right calls, and Parting, he wasn't doing his best to be super cost effective. He was taking some liberties there. Jimmy, right. But Parting takes 2 in a row. And that's not a fun place to play from. Hello? Okay, what? What are these? Hello? What do you mean it's on the old patch? I thought they didn't patch this game anymore. I thought they literally have neglected it and put it in a dumpster outside until it runs out of battery power. What do you mean that's not what the announcement meant? You mean it's only for skins that pro players don't care about? Not balance changes or hardware? I don't believe you. Well. If you're down 2-0 against Parting, honestly, I think I'd 12 pull. Because the only way, as Rogue was trying to demonstrate, the only way to stop a cheeser is cheese them first. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Now, Parting, I don't know if he smelled the cheese. As like, there are two arguments. Maybe you're around cheese so much you can't smell it anymore, or you have the nose for it. But, enough of that. It's unclear which it is. But that probe being there was everything. If that probe wasn't there, you mineral walk the drones through with their magical mineral walkiness, and then the adepts get surrounded and actually die, and the wall doesn't happen, and everything's terrible. But Parting was prepared. I'm actually a little surprised Rogue didn't just tap out. The fact that that game was 12 minutes is the biggest shock to me. Like, Rogue, did he get in with the drone rush? No. How long was the game? Double digits. Okay. All right. So another thing about just taking the third instead of taking your natural is it kind of preempts the cannon rush. Because usually the strength of the cannon rush is not just denying a base, but denying both bases. Because you put the cannon rush at the natural, they suddenly can't get any units from their main out on the map. And also they can't take their second base, right? Like, but when you just take your third, and you try to cannon rush the third, that's not cutting off the main. Unless there's some weird shenanigans going on or a crazy map, you're not cutting off the main with a cannon rush on the third. You could try to cut off the main, but then they can work it from both angles. I'm actually surprised Parting didn't try something super cheeky here. Like, why not? You got 3. You got to pull out... and playing Protoss in any series, but especially Protoss versus Zerg, you've got to have a full deck, all right? You have to have a nice, dynamic, thick deck. And that's very important, as Parting would say. And then you got to twist it and see what card comes out. Because you got your cannon rushes, you got your glaives, you got your Stargate. Every once in a while you get some Robo openers. Maybe like glaives into Robo. Sometimes you got that quick... So you got your Void Race. So... a lot of options, but this time we see the Twilight Council. What flavor of Twilight Council will it be? Just a classical glaives build? Knowing Parting, I'm getting some faint whiffs of a Dark Shrine. That might just be glaives. It's hard to tell. Like, those are similar cheeses, so we have to be a little more precise. But if there's a robotics facility, there's no Robo coming up, so that hints of DTs, rather. The Shrine of Darkness. Sounds way more dramatic if you say it that way. The Shrine of Dark. Oh, okay, I couldn't even finish it. The Shrine of Dark. That's what Parting has. He's just a big Dark fan. He's got like a bunch of posters of him up on his apartment wall, and when he lays on his bed, which is apparently on the floor or something, I'm not sure what's happening there. He looks up and he sees dark every day. Just wishing, dreaming, fantasizing. The Templar archives are already sound pretentious enough. But the Shrine of Darkness. That sounds like a Total War DLC or something. Now, for $8.99, you can have the Dark Templar. which are... They kind of just win sometimes, but they have really cool melee weapons. It's like, melee weapons don't seem very efficient when my opponents are kind of focused on a massive amount of units. Melee weapons! Oh, you feel like the Protoss. Also, why were supply depots only invented by Terrans? I'm starting to think this game isn't realistic. But parting working both ends of the cheesy stick right now. Cheese stick? Cheesy stick. As he has the Dark Shrine, he can protect his base. The battery finishes exactly when it needs to. Though it might not be enough to save the day here. The Adepts will have to shade away. A couple Dark Templar heading out. Will parting... Oh, one shade gets back. The DT's going for the natural and going for the third. There are queens there. He can kind of just kill... This is a little awkward. Well, that... Okay, it gets one kill. The other DT is in the main. The lair just started for Rogue. DT's slashing and hacking away at the Zerglings that get 3/4 of the way to killing a Nexus, which might as well be none of the way to killing a Nexus. Okay, well this is the ultimate duel. Cape Boys versus Zerglings, who are... I feel like... Well, if he gets it, obviously it's worth it, I guess, but... So he got it. Okay, he lost 40 Zerglings. But killing the Nexus after it's already completed is a big win. It wasn't cheap. That's a lot of Zerglings. But I think it's worth it. It's... Because right now, if Parting had the gas... Well, if he had the third base and he just had that to fall back on, then the base being done is a defensive structure in and of itself. When it's done, you have battery overcharge, you just have the fact you're building more probes, you can focus more out on the map. But Rogue has been doing a good job of keeping Parting tied back to his base, which is exactly what you want from a Protoss player who has DTs when you don't have a lair done. So Rogue finishes his lair, his Zerglings still a major set of thorns in Parting's side. Looks like an Overseer is finished and is just kind of chilling over here behind enemy lines. Well, not really behind. It also depends where you draw the line, but you get the idea. In siege mode, or whatever you want to call it. Oversight mode, I think it's literally called. DT's on the other side, hunting the Queen, hunting the Spore. Queen's hunting the Warp Prism. Not great. Not ideal. Recall coming in. Does he have energy? Does he not have energy? He has to have energy. Oh, he's going for an Archon. Well... Rogue just spits out a Changeling right next to the Archon. Okay. A show of dominance. So that was terrible. That was about as bad as that could have gone. Everything died for essentially free. So if you were wondering if the third base was worth it or not, now it is. Now it is. How does that tie into the third base? I think Parting was a little desperate to get damage done. Like, after getting his third base shut down after trying to defend it, he really wanted to get damage done. So he went way too deep. As Parting do. And now there are a bunch of roaches in the front door. You're not going to kill both those Overseers. You can't rely on simply... Well, he does have Blink. Why does he have Blink? Parting, why Blink? I know. Did he see the Spire on the way? He may have seen the Spire. I think it's likely. Yeah, he saw the Spire. But even then... Stalkers are a very temporary solution against Mutalisks. So it's fair. Okay, you go Blink against Mutas. But at some point, they have too many Mutas. And the Mutas are going to keep... The best defense against Mutas is good offense. And the one thing Parting can't do right now is go on offense. If he does, he's going to lose probes. If he doesn't, then Rogue's just going to get a huge economic lead. He's already got his fourth base done. There's 71 drones. He's up by 50 supply. Probes are getting slaughtered. The Mutas up in the mineral lines. Pick one. Doesn't really matter because the Stalkers can barely chase them. If he gets most of the Mutas, the closer Parting gets to maxing out at this point, the better. The problem is, I don't think Rogue is ever going to let that happen. He's going to kill the War Prism. Another one bites the dust. Force Field's a very temporary measure. He has next to no energy on the sentries. He's working on +2 attack, but +2 attack doesn't solve a... What is it right now? A double the army supply. All right, parting. I mean, this does not look good for Mr. Parting.
Numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster.
We got mutas in the natural. Some of the stalkers can't even get close to the third. That's a ridiculous amount of roaches. And he has to try to get them one by one by one. The blink stalker's going to work, but the roach ravager is just too bulky here. There are far too many. The corrosive biles actually land. The mutas are back in the mineral line, targeting down probes. The roaches and ravagers are overwhelming, and Rogue, undeterred after 2 games, will win the first match that goes to something resembling a macro game. And that's got to be a bit of confidence for him. Parting taps it out. I think Parting trying and failing to defend the third. Well, very simply. As Protoss, you can't have a Warp Prism full of Dark Templar and then just lose it. That is not cheap. It is not... That is not good. I'm looking for more clever ways to say this. But you just can't. You can't do that. Protoss has a lot of expensive units that you rely on. And at this level, you can't make those mistakes and be in a good position. It is a huge blow, because the Warp Prism is the only thing keeping Rogue at home. If you lose the DTs, but you don't lose the Prism, well then there's that Prism, literally in the back of his mind and sometimes the back of his base. But you lose the Prism, and there's nothing stopping him from coming across and taking your lunch money. Or your dinner money, or whatever time Parting wakes up each day, which I assume is somewhere in the PM. But it really depends. And not every day. But... Game 4. Game 4. Thank you. Okay. Ah, yes, the Shrine of Darkness. We have finally arrived. Oh. From now on, until I forget, it will be called the Shrine of Darkness. Just, you gotta, after 10 years, and 10,000 games cast, and multiple times that played, you gotta mix things up, make it exciting in the production tab. Here we have a pylon. Nope, not that exciting. Too exciting. Stop it. And we're on the long map, Jagannatha. The longest map, the physical travel distance, making it difficult to put together. Even for Protoss who warp in their units to the front, most of your key units cannot be warped in, unfortunately. So Stargate and just generally late game styles are very... Is this a 3-hatch before pool? You wild dog. You baby-eating dingo, Rogue. It's not. He was looking for a cannon rush from the low ground, which you can kind of do from the Reaper Cliffs, but is not... I mean, if Parting wanted to get crazy, it'd be a cannon rush on this map. So, Parting not feeling that crazy. He's not feeling loco, if you would. But that's okay. Not many of us do. Most days. Like and subscribe. Parting not even going for a second gas. I'm not sure why. He's really working on the minerals here. Like, he even, like, reflexively went for a second gas. His probe moved to it, and then he's like, no, that's not what we're doing. But what are we doing, parting? Is this like a super charge lot all in? Or, okay, that's a robo. That does not knock out the possibility of charge lots. Is this, it has to be something like gateway shenanigans. Because check off all the things that cost gas, or a significant amount of it, and leave anything else. Yeah, that robo sitting there with nothing with it. It looks like he's just gonna build a bunch of gateways. And what year is it? Or he's taking a very quick third, but you're not a Zerg, Parting. Parting has never acknowledged this. The world must know, are you really actually a Zerg, Parting? Yeah, there's no... We got our beautiful observer pointing out that there's no Overlord on the pervert pillar there. 3 gates added on. That makes 4. That makes 5. Okay, count with me. Alright. And... Wait, he needs money for the prism. Takes a gas. I'm not sure if that's for show or not. Oh, it is! He wanted to show the gas to the Overlord. Like, look, good Overlord, sir. Affix your monocle and spy my gas. Why do I imagine Overlords just have 1 eye? Because Overseers overcompensate with 8. Well, Rogue knows. So Rogue gets in with a speed Ovi. That puts its monocle on and sees, what, that's 6 gates. So that's a bit of a giveaway. Spine Crawler's on the other side. As Rogue will scramble to put whatever he can together. No Zergling speed. He went straight to Overlord speed because he knew shenanigans were afoot. And also flying. But mostly walking. Because that's how gateway units usually do. Well, the Overlord's here to watch. Parting says, I like it when you watch. The Overlords look away, disgusted. 3 spine crawlers, bunch of roaches. In production, not yet delivered. He's kind of giving up the 3rd here, just realizing all I need to do is live. Will the roaches try to defend? He's going for the 3rd. Parting finds it relatively undefended, but the queen's a real threat. Parting was making probes behind this. I think he knows that because Rogue saw it so early, it's very... No, the prism! The prism! The prism is everything! The prism is the centerpiece of this. It's like that Pink Floyd album cover art thing. That, you know that one. Like, it's kind of the whole thing. Well, he killed the 3rd, so there's that. That's a plus. But really don't want to lose the prism. Brenda, why did we get the poor range? They nerfed it. Give Brenda back her knitting needles. Now the counterattack is coming in. Rogue replacing his 3rd. The prism is dangerously low. Should be recalled soon. Recall is not on cooldown. The shield battery overcharge is really keeping that cyber core intact. Loses a stalker. Recalls the prism. And that's going to help a lot with dealing with this. Another cyber core already being built. As he realizes, yeah, that's the end of that. Oof, kept it together for a split second. Now he can chase it down. Lair not done for Rogue. Which means these can be chased. They can be hunted. They can be killed. As Parting has more than enough, he's going to juggle the Immortal. The fun fact, dropships drop out the direction they're facing. So if you want to spend that extra split second of time facing the direction that your unit needs to shoot, it will actually help. So, fun facts. I would not recommend it for anyone less than half of Cyril's MMR, which is about 7,400. The roaches hunted down. So, now, this is a bit of an awkward spot for both sides. Parting has next to no tech, as he didn't have the drones, he didn't have a 3rd, well, obviously he didn't have drones or probes, believe it or not. Not that many. So he's not going to have the ability to follow this up. Like, he's not coming across the map with Stalkers again, more than likely. Because he correctly realizes that Rogue is going to have Lair. He's going to have plenty of creep. There are Queens on the other side, the scariest Zerg unit. Whereas Rogue, also, while he has Rogue speed finishing, if he commits to an attack, Parting is likely to just win a fight. So now we sit back and we macro up and we chill out for at least another minute or two until the next tier of tech comes in. We're in what is so professionally called the mid-game, as both players have the economies to build up an army, but not yet maxed out. Neither really willing to heavily commit to economy, as we see Parting, like, this many Stalkers on the field. Stalkers have an expiration date. Parting knows that, Rogue knows that, Silver Leaguers know that. At some point, Stalkers just aren't that good. This is not that point. This is in the mid-game, when your opponent doesn't have, like, 80 drones. That's when Stalkers shine. The cost efficiency of Blink, on top of the ability to discourage things like mutas, is important. But an important part of having Blink is having Blink, which he does not. The Twilight Council is part of the wall. There are no upgrades for either side. Essentially just base units here, besides Roach Speed. Incredible Corrosive Vials! Center Mass! Down go the sentries! Stalkers obliterated! Parting! Plummeting in supply! And with it, the hopes of ever being able to micro those Stalkers, because it appears that their time has ended. Shield Battery Overcharge isn't going to save the day. Blink will be done, but with what Stalkers? The Stalker count knocked down and Parting, it looks like at this point, knocked out. 2-2. Parting trying to play these, as they say, macro games. And it's not going great. It's been a tough ride. Rogue taking 2 in a row, with Parting both times just not having enough units on the field. I do feel like just trying to go into Blink itself, 150, 150. The most expensive Twilight Council upgrade. Stalkers, the most expensive, to an extent, gateway unit. It's reaching really far against a player like Rogue to get a bunch of Stalkers and also be like, I have anything else. So Rogue kind of just walks across the map and kills him. I mean, you never want to recommend a cannon rush. I feel like cannon rushes are one of those, like, smoke-filled rooms, like, how did you get here? I cannon rushed one too many times. Shrine of Darkness. Two. Well, I would say close match so far. But every game that's been played, in my opinion, has been pretty one-sided. Like, the wins for Parting have been solid wins, especially Game 1. And the losses, or the wins for Rogue, have been pretty solid as well. Parting not able to get too much going. Not very much back and forth. So, but hopefully you've enjoyed my breakdown. And hopefully this match is more dramatic than all of the rest. Even though right now I could probably just be like, Cannon Rush versus Drone Rush. And just make sure we got the thumbnail set and good to go. Somebody give me an arrow so we can know where the Cannon Rush is. And we'll be good. Very important. Here we got 2 drones. Parting. Rogue is taking this pretty serious here. A Parting probe is something that must be respected. And It might actually somehow 2v1 kill a drone. It looks like maybe biting off a little more than its little probe mouth can chew. But just the threat of a cannon rush is obviously in the forefront of Rogue's mind. He's living rent-free in his head right now. But unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily translate into a victory. And since Parting is going for the expand behind, he's got his Cyber Core on the way. He's going for a second gas this time around. I don't blame him for trying the big gateway play on Jagannatha. It's just, like, you don't really want to play a longer game against Zerg, especially if you're not super comfortable in the late game, because you find you just can't attack on the ground. At some point, you get to a stage where you're forced to go probably Sky Toss, and that means your ultra late game. You got your carriers, you got your Storm, and mostly the Zerg is the one who's able to run around because there's so much distance. There's the sheer amount. No, I know charge lots are fast. They've been working those calves, but not that fast. Even in the speedulas, or what are we calling them? The speedulas? The speed bubs, of which Death Aura also has. I'm a big fan of units speeding up as opposed to slowing down in the fancy fields. As Starcraft is a fast-paced game, as many players know and usually love until they have to play it themselves. Avoid Ray first. This could go almost any direction. The Void Ray is almost like the Viking against Zerg. It is a bit more of a commitment than a Viking, as most Terrans at some point will get a starport, whereas Protoss won't always get a Stargate, especially not early on. Sir? Okay. Aha! I will take him from behind. You don't? Okay, whatever. Just let him go. Alright, Parting. Takes the third off of it. Looking for any other OVs out there. None to be found, as Rogue kept him off the map. We do got a Twilight behind this for Parting. There's also a Roach Warren for Rogue, who still... The Void Ray just means... Like, it doesn't mean this is a Void Ray strat. It doesn't mean this is a Stargate strat. In fact, the Void Ray almost always means it's not a Stargate strat, because you rarely start out with a Void Ray when you want to go for a Stargate overall. You usually start out going either Oracles or Phoenixes. Something you can build up more realistically while still expanding. Glaive Adepts behind Parting, taking 4 gases at once. So that is a Vespene explosion. And I wonder what tech it's going to be behind the Adepts. The Adepts are cover for the final step of this process. Likely some form of Templar. I'm not sure which flavor quite yet. But that is the only thing I can really think of. He took the gases at his third. Which, anywhere below 3,000 or above 7,000 MMR means something's about to happen. He's not really mining from them. I don't know. They might be for show as well. I don't think so. Because you don't really take gases at your third for show. But we will see. Hydroden is on the way. Overseer coming up for Rogue, who suspects a Shrine of Darkness. Double Robo. And, well, here come the Adepts in the Speedulas. Throwing the Shade, which also goes... It's so fast. Hitting that booster pack. Or that boost pad. There is a drone to try to deny the Shades into the natural. He needs it now. He takes it. The Shades just going for the Queens. Regicide. He decides to cancel, but the Adept's already thinning out a bit. The Queens suffering. The Knitting Crew torn to shreds but better the queens than the drones. Of course, there might be a bit of both. The drones will run, but the third base, already some economic damage. And Rogue can't afford too many losses right now. Gets another. But wait, the drones run, but they're locked up by one of their own kind. He doesn't realize exactly. They move in clumps to hide their numbers. Which is just a fortunate coincidence here. The Shades, 2 Adepts, let alone 4, can still be a ridiculously deadly amount. 11, 12. Oh, okay, 12. That'll be the number, an even dozen. Meanwhile, a Speed Brovy, an Overseer, going into the main. We'll see the double rebel transition designed to smack down a Roach. The Roach plays. What? How are there still Adepts? 20 drone kills and counting. And more, and more, and more. Oh, 27 kills. Disgusting. 29 overall, adding on the couple from the Oracles earlier. And suddenly Rogue is down 14 workers. And once again, the counter swing. One Void Ray not going to be able to stop these on its own, but thankfully the double Robo is exactly what you need for this. That he's got 3 Immortals. That's still without anything in front of them, killable, but not that much. Rogue is bouncing back, and losing that many drones when you have 70 is a lot different than losing 27 when you have 50. When you get dropped down to 50, you can recover pretty quick. It hurts, but it's not a critical blow. The timing does matter, and Rogue does have a 4th on the way. He does have +1 ranged attack. He does have Hydraless finish, and he does have a Hive started, which is something you're not really expecting this early if you're parting, especially with potentially Lurker upgrades, those Hive Tech upgrades, making Lurkers one of the big boys out there. No longer a pushover unit, but something that can shred your enemies. Well, here comes Sparting, finished with +1, and he's got plenty of charge lots on the march. A few Immortals and Archons mixed in. 4 more Templar. Roaches and Ravagers on the high ground. A tough location to crack, but carried by his unit composition, he might be able to do it. This is when you're looking to split off some units, get some economic damage done. Parting should be taking a 4th behind this, if possible. It does look like for now he's going to come in from both sides, trying to outflank a Zerg, a bold move. Oracle getting in, trying to get some damage done as well. Corrosive Bow not finding the mark. Couple Archons easily distracted like squirrels with an Overlord. But the damage is being done. He's bringing the Immortals into the fight, but a lot of units getting stuck here. The Archons mostly down, Corrosive Bow thrown up and pushing away some of the Immortals. A little disjointed is the attack from Parting, but these units don't seem to care. It's just bashing through the Roaches and the Roachborn itself. The Immortals left on their own, and they are social creatures. A little messy there. Parting getting caught out, not really getting anything meaningful but the Roachborn. The Prism is caught out, the Immortals themselves isolated and killed. So Parting tried to have a little bit of everything. And that was possibly the only way that Rogue holds that comfortably. And that wasn't really comfortable. Let's be clear. That wasn't a great, that wasn't a clean, that wasn't a solid hold. But it was a hold. Like, Parting saw the whole menu of options of things he could kill, and he said, I'll take one of everything, when really he should have just decided on the 4th base or the army. But a little bit of both means now Parting in an awkward spot where he has to defend. Does he have a Prism? I believe he does. He's still doing economic damage. Rogue, this is a desperate counterattack, but the tactical goop, the Contaminate on the Robo going to help out a bit. The 4th base wasn't done. He may force a cancel. He should be able to defend it. So Parting still getting some economic damage done. Rogue is by no means ahead. He's just not dead. And that is the first step towards winning the game, because if you're dead, it's very hard to win a game of StarCraft. Roachborn will be rebuilt, but this has kind of forced Rogue into the unit he wanted anyways, the Lurkers. He's got 900 gas in the bank. He's getting the Seismic Spines for that extra long shredding. Does he have Adaptive Talons queued up? Indeed he does. And a War Prism coming in. Parting not Honestly, if the Warp Prism had been better managed in that fight, if it had either evacuated or helped micro the Immortals, the game may be over. But Parting not able to find a killing blow. Just instead a lot of... he kind of flailed around in that fight, to be honest. It looked like he was trying to make his units focus on the army, but they just... They're fickle creatures, okay? It's a melee unit in an advanced alien army. Archon's not the brightest bulb in the bunch, despite their looks. Like, you would think that some of the most expensive units in the Protoss would have more than 3 range. But no. You would be wrong. Oh, the Templar getting caught by the Zerglings! The Storms hitting everything! One Archon will merge out of it. Warp Prism warping it a bit towards the main, bringing the army out of position, but the Lurkers will ward away, moving down to the low ground. He has a dangerous amount of Lurkers. Is there still an Oracle out there? Revelation is possible. At the third, warping in more, but the Lurkers are starting to box things out for Rogue. He's keeping it together. Against the Lurkers, you either need Sky Toss, or you need to find a coherent, a decisive fight where you can actually deal with them. You don't want to bleed units. But Parting continues going into the Lurkers. He's got a fleet beacon on the way. 2 Immortals at a time. Charge lots on the 4th base. The Lurker's still going to work. The base! It's so close. But it's not close enough. He's got air weapons on the way. He decides on the Sky Toss option, which is the better long-term one. Back into the main. Rogue is holding. That's kind of been the title of this game. He's holding. And he has the Hive Tech. He has the Lurkers. Which means he has more than a chance. He has more than hope. He's got a solid shot here. Because it kind of snuck up on Parting. But 12 Lurkers with double upgrades. And plus 3 attack on the way. So Parting is now at arm's reach. He has to transition into Sky Toss. But you don't want to just let the Lurkers run rampant over the map during it. So, the best defense is still a good offense here for Parting. Until he gets Carriers out. And Carriers the good choice here. The Zealots looking for an opportunity, but those Lurkers very happy to dunk their heads in the sand. There's enough Lurkers back. He's not going to forget to leave Lurkers at home, Parting. He's not going to forget. But there's not enough. Or are there? It's unclear. He's going for the base. The Lurkers do a lot of damage. He's got to get out of there. The Warp Prism's still hanging out by a base here. But the Lurker's moving forward. Stasis Ward not finding much of an opportunity. Where's the Revelation? On this army. I think Recall should be off cooldown right now. Parting can't let himself get bottled up. Carriers are finishing. They haven't all... Are any carriers done? He's only got 1 carrier, which is not enough carrier. Any carrier that can be described without an S in the word is not enough. Down goes 1 base. Parting cannot lose his 4th here. When you're like, he cannot afford to lose gas income. He's had the income advantage for quite a while, most of this game. The carrier has arrived. There's no anti-air. Oh, you just got to be careful. You got to be careful. Just the 2 Lurkers don't solve this on their own. The Void Rays might, though. Here comes some Hydras. Parting. His supply plummeting. He's down near 100. The base is gone. The carriers did not arrive in a timely manner. His incoherent and his disjointed attacks. Rogue has had a singular focus. He's kept his bases alive, and he's worked towards these Lurkers. And these Lurkers have worked for him. He now has 5 bases. He's got +3. While Parting maintained his probe count, he doesn't have the gas income. He's up. He should have mined out of his main by now. There's 50 gas left here. The first geyser is mined out. He just lost all the gas that allows him to go for Templar and for carriers at the same time. Whereas Rogue is getting more gas income. He hasn't mined out of his main because Zerg doesn't take it as quick. This has gone from Parting being 1 good fight away from victory all the way the other direction. I was asking for a more back and forth game. Well, here it is, seesawing back towards Rogue. Both in supply and in, the The ball is in Parting's court now. He has to do something. He has to keep Rogue off his back. Because only one of them has spines. Parting pushed back towards his fourth. Didn't even try to take the left side, or maybe Rogue was denying it. I'm not sure. That is such a flimsy army out of Parting. The Hydras can just kill the Interceptors. Storm not going to make the difference here. It takes 3 Storms to kill a Lurker. Parting bleeding out pretty quick. It looks like Rogue smells blood in the water. Brings the Lurkers up. Yeah, a couple Storms softens them up, but that's not enough. The Interceptors need to be rebuilt, and there isn't time for that. Suddenly, Rogue looking like 3 games in a row. Parting had 2 in 10 minutes. But now, Rogue pulled it all together. We haven't seen a cannon rush since game 1. And while Parting got off to a good start, once again, Rogue to a good end. He finishes it. It looked like he outplayed him. 3 games in a row there. Parting forced to tap out. He couldn't decide what he wanted. And that was kind of the trend, was Parting, do I want to kill the army? Do I want to kill drones? Do I want to kill a base? Pick one. You can't do all 3, but you can definitely do one. But he never really decided on what he wanted. And that means Rogue decided for him. Well, hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown, my cast. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and be like, well, Winter, you are one of the top 5 casters I've watched these games with. And I think that's definitely something. And if so, check out these amazing videos in this loving Twitch chat. So we do it live. And congratulations to Ronan. Thank you for watching. Good luck. And have fun.